You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to cry. You can't fool me again.
What we gonna eat no money, what we at you, eat no at you. Covid money, me say we eat the your little rat you. Use the youth, them on them waste, must have man to statue. Say me like a catch you, but bigger than a figure you. Take the spit of money, God and say that is not you. On the head, the man above him, him a got a bet too much. It in the kitchen, some a fly by like a pat too. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% raise.
It burn me.
Garbage pile of it.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption cease.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out the beach.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
Come me say dig up all the charities and all of the giver. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The already promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, they rap and they down in a whatever. Member bowl only and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start and thief when them sell.
It burn me.
Or they treat the market man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
Or they treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the son man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
Or them a treat soldier man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't.
Stibby dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no keep. And some informer friend we love like. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in Global TV. Check it.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Global TV. Thank you for joining us. This is the debut of another of our programming. This is At a Glance. Was CEDELLA push or did she jump? We will explore together this morning. You can call in and you can help to progress the conversation. Is there discrimination at the JFF, or are they just purely embarrassed that the women's group have progressed in football above or the men's group? Good morning to those on TikTok, to those on Twitch, on the X, on Facebook, and on YouTube. This is At a Glance, and thank you for joining us. We are looking this morning at the resignation of CEDELLA Marley as global ambassador at the Jamaica Football Federation. But before I look at that, I want to remind those of us in the United Kingdom here that amid the battering of wind and rain, from today throughout next week, we will be having massive travel disruption across London. So if you are not like me, who cycled around London then set to be on the overcrowded, the great onwash of our buses from today all the way throughout the whole of next week. We will be having massive travel disruption because they have started their strikes today. The London Underground and the RMT, they've started some walkout from today, and it will continue through the whole of next week. So next week is expected to be bangarang in London. So make sure you plan your travel journeys and any alternative mode of traveling that you need to get yourself through the first proper working week of January in London, because when Monday morning comes, it will be bangarang throughout the whole week. So for those of you who want to avoid the crucifixion on the bus next week, then what you all need to do is decide, am I going to move by scooter? Am I going to move by cycle? Am I going to risk it coming out in the car where London is going to be chock-a-block with traffic, because those who would have possibly used the underground may be coming out in their car? So London is set to be messy for travel next week. And God help us in London next week if we have the rain and wind that we are having. So for those of you in London, brace yourself for travel disruption all of next week. Brace yourself for that, because we know how it goes in London, especially during the rush hour in the morning. The buses are full. By the time they get halfway down the road, they have to stop taking passengers. So Londoners, brace yourself for travel disruption next week. What is happening at the Jamaica Football Federation? Is it that there is massive discrimination going on at the JFF, where the success of our women in football seem to have brought more problems within the camp than celebration? Because ever since the announcement of the lack of funding for our women's football and the GoFundMe and all of that, there has been a continuous rift going on. In my opinion, the rift deepens yesterday evening after the resignation of CEDELLA Marley as global ambassador for the Reggae Girls. What is happening? What is happening at the JFF? Is there discrimination at the JFF? Or are they purely embarrassed? Is the problem at the JFF? Is it the hierarchies at the JFF that is causing the problem? Or is the problem coming from central government? Who is having the problem? Why CEDELLA had to go? Was she asked to go? Did she go? Did she have to go because with the behavior at the JFF, her position become unbearable or untenable? what happened to CEDELLA's position. This is a Gina article. It is also in the description area where you can read the article yourself, because remember, I am a fully dunce. I may not read in a way that you understand. So the article that I'm going to mumble from is in the description area where you can read for yourself. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, David Jervis. Good morning, Head Teacher K. Good morning, Senorita. Good morning, always observing. Good morning, Angel. Good morning, Miranda. Sunshine, glad to see you. Good morning, Nikita. Good morning, and welcome to those of you who are here. Thank you for joining us on the debut of our daytime programming. This is At a Glance. Thank you very much for joining us, and give us some like and share, please, so everyone can know that this is the debut of At a Glance. In a letter sent to the Jamaica Football Federation on Thursday, Marley expressed her disappointment and growing concern with the turn things have taken in recent months. After the World Cup, I was under the impression that we all were committed to working together to build on that success. However, the ever widening rift between the JFF and the team is very alarming. Numerous overtures to others of you to voice your concern and try to assist with a resolution continue to be met with non-committal generic response, Marley said in her letter. Meaning, them just have one blank response will come from whether be the head of the JFF, or central government, where don't speak to the direct issues that may be raised. This is why it is a generic response, because it is just a response to fob you off. It's not a response to deal with the issues that are being raised. Marley stated, however, that she would continue to support the development of Jamaican women football under the Football is Freedom initiative. Is there discrimination at the JFF? Next month will mark 10 years. My young son, this is the letter from, this is the actual letter from CEDELLA. Next month will mark 10 years since my young son brought home a flyer from his soccer coach about the U20 Reggae Girls. That flyer was the impetus of my initial query into women's football and all of the amazing things that have happened since Captain Burrell first shared his vision and asked me to work alongside him as global ambassador for Jamaican women football program. When I accepted the role, I pledged that I would bring help, I would bring support, I will bring funding, I would bring funds, and I will do all within my power to make sure our Senior reggae girls get what is possible for the campaign, to 2015 World Cup in Canada. Since 2014, she said, the joint support of the Bob and Rita Marley Foundation, along with a list of great partners, has allowed us to invest more than $2.75 million in the growth and development of Jamaican women's football. We have worked diligently with the Federation to build a solid women's program. The result of this week speaks for themselves, as reggae girls have gone on to literally make history. Not once, but twice. Not once, not twice, but repeatedly. Why is this victory not held up and celebrated? That being said, I must express my disappointment and growing concern with the turn things have taken in recent months. After the World Cup, I was under the impression that we were all committed to working together to build on that success. However, the ever-widening rift between the JFF and the team is very alarming. Numerous overthrows to each of the voices, overthrow to each of you to voice your concern and try to assist with a resolution continue to be met with non-committal generic response. As I said earlier, those generic responses are responses that doesn't speak to the issue that are being raised. They're just responses to fob you off and tell you, leave us alone. We're not interested in whatever issue you are raising. So that in my view, that's generic responses, how administration work when there's a complaint and a dispute. You just get some set generic answers to your question that doesn't deal with the issue that you've raised. The current state of affairs lead me to conclude that the Federation is neither receptive or interested in my current manner of support. Therefore, I am tendering my resignation as Global Ambassador, effective immediately. Going forward, this is where the question of jumping and pushing becomes relevant. Going forward, I will continue to support the development of Jamaican women football under the Football is Freedom Initiative. Sincerely, CEDELLA Marley. So in my opinion, CEDELLA Marley is being pushed. She has pledged to continue to support Jamaican women football. And if any of you have any opinion on this issue, you can call in and let us hear your views on the issue. The numbers are on the screen. Because she has pledged her support to continue supporting women's football. So it's not because she has achieved what she's set out to achieve in women's football why she has gone. It's because she cannot work with those at the top of the JFF anymore, because those at the top at the JFF, from what I'm understanding in her letter, have no interest. Those at the JFF have no interest in investing, celebrating, or developing women's football. What are your thoughts? If not calling in, tell us in the comment, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on CEDELLA's resignation? Was she jumped? Did she jump or was she pushed? Should CEDELLA take legal action against the JFF? In the employment spheres, this could go to tribunal, or she could raise a claim against the JFF for constructive dismissal. Because of the JFF top brass behavior to her, she had to tender her resignation. Should CEDELLA Marley take action against the JFF? Should CEDELLA Marley go public and tell the world exactly what the problem JFF is having with women's football? So head teacher K is saying she was inevitably pushed. Why do you think they won't take her seriously, head teacher K? I can barely see. Let me turn up the brightness. I can barely see on the screen. Why do you think they won't take her serious? Do you think this is about discrimination? Do you think it's because we are a patriarchal, misogynistic society? So it's women, so we don't have to give them the highlight, or we don't see the necessity of pumping a lot of funds into the female side of JFF. What if this was the Reggae Boys? What if it was the Reggae Boys? Head teacher K is saying, the history of CEDELLA in the industry of entertainment, plus mere factor that she is a female. So you would be arguing then, head teacher K, that there is patriarchy or misogyny being played out here. Is that what you're saying? What if this was the Reggae Boys? Do you think we would be having this catastrophe over funding, over support? Kamal is saying she was pushed because the organization full of corruption, just like the Parliament of Jamaica, Bangarang. Do you think some of the issue at the JFF is coming from the Ministry of Sport? What should Minister of Gender and Sport be doing in this issue? Will we be getting statement from Horace Burrell or from the Ministry of Sport, or will the Reggae Girls speak out? The teacher is saying absolutely misogyny and patriarchy is at play here. So if this is the issue here, should we not all be bawling blue murder on social media, calling out the misogyny and the patriarchy and the hatred of women in our society? Shouldn't we be going absolutely mental about this on social media? That the statue of CEDELLA Marley and the progress of our women in football and the progress of our women in football, the funding, the support she has brought to women's football, don't you think we all should be going absolute mental about this misogynistic behavior at the JFF and in our parliament? We heard from the back and forth over the whole issue of funding. The government was caught on the back foot because they didn't see, the ministry and the government and the federation were caught on the back foot because they didn't see the necessity to pump the resources into the reggae girls. CEDELLA and others had to do a GoFundMe in order to help with the support. We saw in her letter to the JFF where the Bob and Rita Foundation has pumped $2.75 million, $2.75 million US dollars into the federation. What is the problem at the federation? Who is having the problem? Is the problem coming from Horace Burrell and those above Burrell? Or is it coming from the government? Are we going to stay silent on this issue of misogyny? Should CEDELLA not receive the support from all of us to make sure that these type of discriminatory behavior are not being covered up? They're being called out. They've been washed out in public. We should demand answer from the JFF as to CEDELLA's position. We should ask the ministry. We should ask the ministry for a statement as to their position and their plans supporting and funding the reggae girls forward. Sorry, thanks. The current head of the JFF, will they be putting out a statement? Will they be putting out a statement with regards to CEDELLA Marley's resignation letter? Because if you read into the letter, you directly know that she did not resign because she achieved what she set out to achieve at the JFF. She has done a great work there. But since the success of the reggae girls, her position have been haunted to the fact where she had to immediately resign yesterday. What was the big debacle yesterday that forced CEDELLA into resignation? I think we should keep our eyes open on this, head teacher K. If the reggae girls continue, watch CEDELLA replacement to be. Wow. Wow. So that would even enforce the misogyny then, would it not? Would it not be reinforcing the misogyny if she's been hound out of her job and is being replaced by a misogynist? I think this is disgraceful because if it were the reggae boys, I don't think this issue that has been continuously brewing that led to CEDELLA's resignation would have been started or progressed to the level it is at, given the success. Given the success of the reggae girls. This is something that should have been held up, highlighted, celebrated. Isn't the same issue where we see Usain Bolt have a bigger standing in Jamaica than Shelley and Fraser? We need to call out this misogyny. CEDELLA Marley have been hound out of her job by no doubt a group of men who couldn't have done it and is upset that women have done better than them. In my view, I think that is a major part of the problem. They are upset because women have done much better. The reggae girls have done much better than the reggae boys. And the misogynists, the belligerent misogynists are upset to the point where no matter the issue that CEDELLA Marley raised, all they can provide is a generic response that doesn't speak to the issues that whether be CEDELLA or the team have raised. It is the same misogyny in our politics. It's the same misogyny all across or male catered for, male dominated in all walks of life society. I think CEDELLA head teacher K should come out and speak to exactly what led to her resignation. She should come out and speak exactly what led to her resignation, because this was something that was brewing from the outset of the success of the reggae girls. She has done immensely proud and great by them in her support, whether be in funding, in any way that she has supported the JFF, the reggae girls, as mentioned in her letters. I said that her letter to the JFF is in the description area, so one can read for themselves her letter to the JFF in her resignation. She is definitely saying, guys, you have all cruelly forced me out of this position because I'm a woman. I'm a woman. You see no need to listen to me. You don't value my views, even with the track record of the success. Even with the track record of the success, the misogynists at the top are saying, whatever you're saying, it's not anything of a great concern to us. We are going to continue to run the female side of the JFF however we want to. They're having problem with crowdfunding, but the federation or the government or the ministry is not investing in women's initiative. What is the opinion of the Ministry of Sport, the Ministry of Gender and Women's Affairs in our government? What is their possession and the way CEDELLA Marley has been hound out of her job? What is the opinion of Ministry of Sport, Ministry of Women and Gender Affairs? What are their opinion and how CEDELLA Marley, with the success behind her, have been treated, with the support she has given to women's football in Jamaica, that helped to take them to the multi-successes that we see from our reggae girls, that we have not seen from our reggae boys since 1998, to which they've never gotten to the point where the reggae girls got to. What would it be if the victory of the reggae girls were the victory of the reggae boys? Would the behavior from the top brass at JFF and the government be much different? What are your thoughts? If not calling, you can say in the comment, what are your thoughts? Would it be different if it were the reggae boys? So Sunshine is even saying here, in boys and girl champs, there is even the same misogyny there, because the boys get more support, more media and airtime than the girls. It is something that we know, but should we allow these misogynistic behavior, especially in those high offices? In those high offices, be called out? Pattern, one would assume she had connections with the JFF if she is so high up. Back then, as she stated in her letter, Horace Burrell asked her to come on board, where about 2014, 2015. So of course there's a connection with the JFF. But we're looking at the current situation of her resignation that stemmed from the debacle we see in public, from the rise of the reggae girls and the issue to do with crowdfunding in public. This for me was where the issue started, the issue of funding. This was where things were highlighted to all of us in public. The lack of funding from the government or JFF, the funding that has to be sought through crowdfunding. That's where the issue was brewing from, and it continues to brew to the point where she don't see it possible that she can work with the head of the JFF anymore. However, she has pledged her ongoing support under the Football is Freedom initiative to continue giving her support to the reggae girls. Therefore, the JFF or the government, in my opinion, has honed her out of her job. But I think she should speak publicly to the particular issues that she have raised and has been fobbed off. Because it would probably open up a greater stream of light to the disgraceful misogynistic behavior at the Jamaica Football Federation and in our politics. Is the issue just residing in the JFF alone, or is central government a part of the issue that led to CEDELLA's resignation? Are you calling to give your opinion and at a glance?
Yes.
Good morning and welcome to At a Glance. Thanks for calling. How may we help you? Let us hear your views. Wow, the person hung up. One second. Let me try to call back this person. Okay, never mind. But we should keep this issue in focus. Continue to ask the questions, because this woman was cheated unfairly because she's a woman, not just. Good morning. Welcome to At a Glance.
Hi. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning. Is that Wayne?
Yes, it is.
It's your security calling you.
Why are you calling from another number that I don't know?
Listen, it's not the job because obviously they call it Robert anymore. They're the thief. Just like when the Red Bulls went to the World Cup, right? If you went what's her name? Savannah Marley, when they get the
One second. Can you let me know in the chat if you can hear the caller, please? Continue, please. Hello? What is happening here? Let me know in the chat if you were hearing the caller's comment. Give me a check in the chat, please. If you were hearing the caller, please let me know. Would it be the same treatment? Okay. Would it have been the same treatment if this success achieved by the reggae girls were achieved by the reggae boys? Would it have been the same treatment? Would there have been a funding issue for the reggae boys in our misogynistic society? If the reggae girls, if the global ambassador for the reggae girls was a man, would he have received the same treatment that CEDELLA has received from the JFF? Would a male ambassador for the reggae girls receive the same treatment given the success CEDELLA brought to the reggae girls? given the success, the support of CEDELLA Marley brought to the reggae girls, would the treatment be same if it was Ziggy Marley? Would the treatment be the same if it was Ziggy or Damien? Or is it because our patriarchal society or misogynistic society think that women should shut up and not have a voice? Is it not the same women who produce the success that our reggae boys fail to produce? Would CEDELLA, if CEDELLA Marley was Ziggy Marley, would that be the same treatment that we've seen her getting to the point where she had to resign her position yesterday as global ambassador for the reggae girls? If Ziggy Marley was the global ambassador for the reggae girls, would it have been the same treatment? Is the issue with CEDELLA Marley, or is it the issue with the success of women? Consider the second-class citizen in Jamaica. The treatment CEDELLA got would never have been if it was a man. So Debbie Jervis is saying the bottom line in our society is women are treated as second-class citizens. And therefore, if it was Ziggy Marley, that might would have never happened, because men are being held up to a greater standard in our society than women. But could our men produce the result? And if they can, why haven't they? Since 1998, there hasn't been any worthwhile progression in the reggae boys. And we see where the reggae girls took it to the world with great success. Sorry. Took it to the world with great success. She was a paid member. It's a role for global ambassador and an appointment, So therefore, my argument then that CEDELLA Marley, CEDELLA Marley should take legal action against the JFF for constructive dismissal. She has been honed out of her position. She has been honed out of her position because she's a woman. So, in the space of employment, she can take a case for constructive dismissal. She can also take a case for discrimination, possibly also for less favorable treatment, if those employment statute apply in Jamaica, because I'm talking from my English knowledge here. But certainly, there is an industrial dispute here. She didn't leave because she wanted to go. She left because the JFF refused to even acknowledge her concern. Hence, she said their responses are being generic. They have refused point blank to even look at meaningfully look at any of the concerns that CEDELLA Marley have raised, that no doubt, in my view, given her support to the JFF and the Reggae Girls, these issues would have been to further bring development and success to the team. Is CEDELLA going to stay quiet on this, or will she speak to the exact issues, that led to her resignation? Will she be telling us in public who has pushed her out of her position and for what reason they have pushed her out of her position? Will she be taking a claim for constructive dismissal against the Jamaica Football Federation? Attached to that, a claim for discrimination or unfair treatment. I'm hoping that CEDELLA will continue to follow up on this in public and not just let it go, because the same misogyny that is applied to CEDELLA Marley will continue to apply to the Reggae Girls. So there ought to be strong women voices, in the JFF. But now that they've honed out CEDELLA Marley, what will it be for our Reggae Girls? Will the coach stand by them? Will the captain of the team speak out to the issues that led to CEDELLA's resignation, or the issues that is holding them back, the issues that they've been raised? Because CEDELLA spoke about a widening rift between the team and the JFF, meaning the Reggae Girls. There's a widening rift between the Reggae Girls and the top brass at the JFF. What are those rifts, CEDELLA or the captain of the team? What are the rifts at JFF that led to CEDELLA Marley's immediate effective resignation? Did someone at the JFF ask CEDELLA, you must go now? Or did CEDELLA Marley work life at the JFF become so unbearable that she has no choice but to resign immediate effective? Thank you all very much for being here this morning. We will continue to follow up on this. This was at a glance. If anyone wants to call, you can call in. But this was the debut of our morning program. We have another program to debut as well, or evening program, which that program is called Drive Time London, Lunchtime Global. That expects to go 6 p.m. UK time, 1 a.m. Eastern time. Grand rising to you, Marie. So if anyone wants to call in and give their opinion on what is happening at the JFF, what has happened to CEDELLA Marley's position, and what Where would you like CEDELLA to take the issue from here? Or where would you like the JFF or the team of reggae girls to take this issue from here? Should Minister of Sport, Women and Gender Affairs get involved in this issue? This is a national issue, and all of us ought to be and should be voicing our concern to let those at the top of government and the JFF know that we do not and will not support misogyny. We are going to stand up against misogyny, and we are going to call it out wherever we see it and wherever it exists. No doubt, misogyny has played a great role in CEDELLA's resignation yesterday. Thank you very much. Let me take this call. Good morning and welcome to At a Glance.
Hi, good morning. Good morning to Jamaica and good afternoon to the UK. My argument is, where was the JF, the Joint Football Federation, when the girls did go to the that World Cup? Where was they to pay the plane tickets and all that? And if you can look at CEDELLA, right? Whenever the success of the Ladies Football Federation, the girls of and the success of them, then I think Bob's going to run out to celebrate. Right? Where was she when the plane fare needed to be paid to go abroad? That is my questions. The fight her out because obviously, I think was my opinion. They reach a level now. They're highlighting all the world, Jamaica football girls and this, that. Reggae girls, however it is.
So are you saying, let me ask a question that I think you might be saying that you haven't said. Are you saying that they're pushing CEDELLA away because the funding may be growing and the government and them had a lot want teeth it?
Exactly what I'm saying. So they push her right now because when it was done on the floor, right, there's no one there. But once it's built, right, and it becomes, the world, knowing them and all that. Fun might be coming in now. So they're pushing her right now because they need to wrap up. What Bob's the Grange?
Well, our political class, isn't our political class, as Sunshine is saying, they're all wagonists. So they only jump on success to vampirize the energy or the resources that CEDELLA and the reggae girls have worked so hard on.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So this is an element of corruption then also, is it not?
Straight corruptions, but that's my take on that. Yes. So thanks for your time.
Thank you very much for your opinion this morning. There you have it. This was the debut of At a Glance. This is our morning program where we will look at issues happening in our country, Jamaica, and we also will look at issues happening in the global spheres. And as I said to you all in London at the start of the show, brace yourself for traveling catastrophe next week, because from today, the London Underground and the RMT, the Rail and Maintenance Trade Union, is going out on a week-long walkout starting today. Different fractions of the network support team will be taking their different walkout throughout the week. So throughout the week, there will be major travel disruption. There will be little to no service on the London Underground and our trains and all of that. So the buses will be massively overcrowded. Coupled with that, if the rain and the wind we are experiencing continue, Bangarang could hit travelers, commuters in London all of next week. But me, I'm out of that because if you know me, I cycle my way around London. So I'm never going to get caught up into the debacle of what next week, all week will bring. Thank you very much for those of you who have joined me this morning in our debut of At a Glance. We will be bringing on Drive Time London, Lunchtime Global. We haven't have a debut date for that yet, but as I said, keep your eyes on the notification, and you will get your notification as soon as we set our program to go out. So to those on Facebook, on Twitch, and on the X, and on YouTube, thank you very much for joining us this morning and At a Glance. To those on TikTok, we thank you for attending our debut this morning as well. And we're saying to you goodbye, and we will see you at 11 p.m. UK time tonight, 6 a.m. Eastern time. Good night, good afternoon, and we will see you tonight.